We start with the universal mantra from the knowledge for the quest of wisdom. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. So now with the spirit of leading from the unknown to the known, we start the program today. Center of Excellence, Safety Engineering and Analytics, IIT Kharagpur, welcomes you to the Weekend Talk series. Today is week 4. So this is a unique amalgamation of industry and academia and a great benefit to all the stakeholders. So I welcome the dignitaries to the virtual dais today, Professor J. Maiti, Chairman, COE, SEA, and Professor Obi Krishna, our expert speaker today. So, sir, I request Maiti sir, Chairman of Center of Excellence, to please welcome Obi Krishna sir.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to participants, and good evening, Professor Krishna. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this week 4. We can talk on safety engineering, management, and analytics. Professor Krishna is very well-known person. He is the leading safety experts in the world, and you know that he spent almost 37 years in Tata Steel in different positions, starting from operation, maintenance, then finally in the safety, he become chief corporate safety. He handled that not only the plants in India, but in plants in other countries, including Koras, Thailand, and many other places. He joined DuPont after Tata Steel, and then there he also spent several years. And the unique feature of Professor Krishna is that he completed his PhD from IIT Kharagpur, and at the age of, I think age of 60 years of his age, he got this degree. Am I wrong, Professor Krishna?
You were my great supervisor.
So he did his PhD from IIT Kharagpur, and in a very important area, and from his PhD, several interventions, particularly in the ergonomics and safety side, that were emerged. And he is here in IIT Kharagpur from 2017 as a professor of industrial and systems engineering, and also for the Center of Excellence in Safety Engineering and Analytics. And I have seen so many industry participants, and this is because Professor Krishna's that popularity in the industry as well as in the academic side. So with this, I request Professor Krishna to deliver your lecture, a very important lecture on analytics-based integrated safety management system. So here I want to just tell one thing, that when you want to use analytics, the domain is very, very important. So now you see that how the domain will be linked with analytics with the veteran speaker and the world-renowned expert, Professor Obi Krishna. Professor Obi Krishna, please.
Thank you, Professor Maiti. And my special regards to you for guiding me in my PhD at the age of 35 years to a person of 55 years. Thank you again. Thank you, Mom.
Well, I can contain saying few words about Professor Obi Krishna. So, I think most of the people know about sir, that sir has coined, the belief in the safety professionals, that is good safety is good business. Normally, safety was always coined as a dragging indicator for business, but he has proved in many aspects that good safety is good business, and we still believe in that, and that belief is so much inculcated that we feel pride in this noble profession called safety. So over to you, sir. Sorry for again.
Thank you, Mom. You are one of the role model safety professional in Tata Steel. I know the whole world, very good safety professionals come from lady community. Taking that as the spirit, we have introduced it, and we have brought ladies like you, and you have proved to be very, very successful. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all again. Today's topic is integrated safety management system, analytics based. These are two terms: integrated safety management system and analytics based. The thing which we project, even if you don't want analytics based, you can use this integrated safety management system with that defined elements. But why IIT Kharagpur, Center of Excellence in Safety Engineering and Analytics, brought analytics? Tell me, is there any field now which is excelling without using analytics? Take Zomato. During the whole pandemic, how did you get benefited with Zomato or Swiggy? Even to the houses where people are COVID affected, Zomato, they are delivering to their requirement. Don't think they are only delivering. They are generating huge data by that. And they are delivering as per the requirement of the customer. What customer needs, that they capture and deliver it. Look at Amazon. You search for one TV. Till you buy a good TV, he will not leave you. Why? They understand your qualities from the search which you make. In addition to delivering their service, they use data for many purposes to excel in their own businesses. You go to different places using GPS. You stop at one place for search for one place for food. Then GPS keep on giving you, yeah, this is the food place. After 2 hours for lunchtime, it will give you, thereby promoting the business of the hospitality and taking care of your needs using your data. But the whole pity is, sad part is, very important domain like safety is not able to use analytics. Why? The analytics, the base is data. You want data. I'll talk in the next slides in a different way. We don't have data, safety data. The data which you feel is the data is not the data for making the analytics. Analytics means you should predict. It should predict and help you. Like I give the examples. We don't have data in safety management. I worked in many years in this field. I thought I'm having a lot of data, but after coming to IIT Kharagpur, I understood, oh, that is not the real data which we require. So gentlemen, we should use analytics in safety management system. For that, you understand what is data, how to create data, then how to use it. All those things will bring it here. Can you identify this great man? He is nothing but Albert Einstein, who have invented theory of relativity. The great equation of today, E is equal to mc square. Nobel Prize laureate. But what is more important is, sorry, it is troubling me. Okay. It is the Einstein who said, the things which we have invented, we have thought, they have got many problems which cannot be solved by thinking the way we thought when we created. When we created, we thought something else. But finally, some more things have come up, which we are not able to solve. We have created atomic energy. We thought it will help people. But some places, atomic energy, the plants have failed, and the atomic energy came out and killing people. That they have not understood. Hazard of atomic energy coming out and killing people did not understand. Spoiling the nature did not understand. Many such instances. The scientists have invented, but the problems they could not understand at that time because of the innocence, ignorance, or trust, or their trust for going the functionality. In this, safety is one. Safety is one where people have not understood. Safety means the hazard. understanding the hazard. I'll come to all these things. What is this hazard? Where did you come from, man? How did you come? Let me tell you, man, great people in the various industrial revolutions, like Industrial Revolution 1, they have created mechanical power, steam power, hydraulic power. They got some comforts to this level. They are very happy. Then in 1900s, the second industrial revolution came. Then electricity came into picture, which we are all able to see now. Huge industrialization, huge mass production. Henry Ford has come with the principle of mass production. Automobiles have come. Then your comforts have increased up to this. Man is very happy. We are all very happy. We have forgotten our bullock carts. Then 1960s, the third industrial revolution came. The computers, electronics, automation. Automation means the technologies without full intervention of the people, you can do it. Where you have more hazards, you can use automation. So they have brought some more comforts. Our comfort level has gone to this level. Then the fourth industrial revolution has come. Cyber physical systems. The physical systems, they have got the system of taking the feedbacks through sensors. It is communicated to the cloud, and the cloud will analyze and give you back the results. The physical system is becoming more intelligent, smart. Then our comforts have gone to this level. Our comforts, we have keep on increasing our comforts with different industrial revolutions. Industrial revolution 1, 2, 3, 4. But believe me, with these comforts, there's one more thing has come. The complexity increased. The hazards, the huge energy, the huge potential energy, which you have created with all these industrial revolutions, you have to hold it within its boundary till it reaches its destination. Then it will give you the results you deserve. The energy could be chemical energy, mechanical energy, electrical energy, atomic energy, whatever energy which are created with all this intelligence. It has to be put within its own boundary till it reaches its destination, delivers its ultimate. This is what we expect to get our comforts. But gentlemen, there is one more element here. This whole energy can a potential thing to harm you if it comes out at undeserved place. At undeserved place, if that energy comes out, it will create a big hazard, potential to harm. This is what is hazard. This is what is hazard. Then it will create a risk or probability of injury and harm. Hazard and risk are not happen. They are potentials and probabilities. That is how people are not able, when people are not able to control it, many incidents happen. That is how BP Texas incident happened in 2005. The energies they could not control. It has come out through initiating mechanisms. It has created havoc. There are many LG petrochemicals which happened last year. LG polymers. Sorry, what happened? We could not control the energy. The energy which is supposed to help us to be happy, it has made unhappy because we are not able to control hazard, potential to harm, which is supposed to be the hazard which is supposed to be dormant. You have to keep it dormant. It should not come out. Hazard has to be put in dormant. Once the initiating mechanisms work, the dormant will become very active. That's why Piper Alpha, the whole biggest oil rig, which is one of the biggest oil rig, has gone out of the map because the potential hazards they could not control. It has killed the whole platform. It has gone out. Bhopal incident. So along with the comforts, you got the hazards. If these hazards are not understood, people have to understand what is this hazard. People have to understand how to control this hazard within its own boundary, so that our comforts are managed. Believe me, when I was in my childhood in my village, we were using bullock carts. We were using cycle. Cycle using is a luxury. We never had road incidents. Nobody died because of the road incident. We don't have proper roads also. But now you have big roads, lakhs of kilometers roads are there. You have very, very sophisticated vehicles. As a result, what is happening? You are getting a lot of comfort, undoubtedly. But 1.5 lakh people are dying on the roads of India itself. India contributes around 11% of the total accidents. Millions of the people in the industries are getting injured. Remember Einstein, what he said? He said, the inventions which you have made, we thought it will work in a particular way without problems, but it is causing problems to the people. So industry 1 to 4, industry 5.0 is on the way. What is industry 5.0? What did we do ultimate in industry 4.0? We are creating mechanized things. We are eliminating people. We are putting robotics. Industry 5.0 is nothing but working with robots. A day will come, the robot will sit by the side of you. Robots and smart machines all around, but you have to work with them. You have to face the hazards by them. Recently, one movie has come out in the OTT, some Bhoo Bum, something like that. In that, the hero says, one day might not be too far when you might become one with us. You means that robot. That is going to come one day, Industry 5.0. We are talking, the robots are also as a machine, and we are addressing hazards. So some more things may come. Let me give you some statistics. Because analytics, we work with different statistics, but some statistics I will give you. 340 million work-related accidents across the world. 160 million work-related illness victims. Both are harmful to the people. There are 2.3 million deaths due to accidents and diseases every year. Death is a death, whether it is because of the disease or because of the accident. 1 million work-related accidents. Believe me, around 6,000 people are dying every day. Hazardous substances which are creating huge energy. Huge energy for you, hazardous substances, if used properly. They themselves are becoming cause for huge deaths. The construction industry, which is the backbone for constructing the industries and the real estate, for your own comfort, is having high rate of accidents. 1 million industrial fatalities, almost equivalent to war and violence deaths together. But you talk too much on violence deaths. But we don't talk about the industry fatalities, because we are all responsible for that. Where we are responsible, we are not talking. There's a study which said around 6 lakhs lives could be saved out of, say, 1.2 million or 2.3 millions by following the good practices. After some years, IIT Kharagpur will come out. How many deaths could be saved by using the safety analytics? That day is not very far. Let me also show you one more very good model. So hazards, what do they do? What actually they are doing? When you make a machine or when you make a system, when you make an industry, anything, it consists of four things: technology, technical processes, work processes which you design how to operate this technology and all those things, contract management process, positive isolation process. They're all part of work processes. Environment where you are working, and the people, human, their skills, their competencies, they all design for, for a system, for an industry, for a machine. When they design, they feel the risk or the hazard should be zero because of this. They feel all the hazards are they are made dormant. But actually it doesn't happen. When they come to you, it increases to this level because of the ignorance, because of the lack of knowledge of the people who designed, who manufactured, or because of some financial problems, we cannot address all the hazards. So this is called a residual risk. This risk you carry with, if the residual risk comes to you, it's very difficult to address. You have to carry with you. If anybody born without one hand, that is the residual risk created by God. He has to carry throughout the life. Like there's a residual risk. When it comes to you, you should have operational risk by the degradation of the people, environment, technology. The risk keep on increasing. When it increases, immediately we will open our eyes and we'll reduce it. When this risk, operational risk, which was increasing in the British Petroleum BP, people did not believe it when people said, because this is all risk, it is not visible. People are telling, then finally it resulted into accident. So it will come down and it will keep on increasing. So we have to manage both the safety management system has to manage all the system risks, which is comprising of residual and entropy risks, operational risks. What is the residual risk? Let me give you a few examples. Indian Railways, which has come around 150 years back, millions of people died in the unmanned rail crossings. Many people died. Indian Railways said it's not my responsibility. I'm operating the tracks. The people who are crossing the unmanned crossing, they should stop and do. It will not happen. It will not be acceptable in the industries. In 2014, there was 8,948 unmanned crossings. Then the government has taken the decision. So we will convert all unmanned crossing into underpass. They have converted. Now there is no unmanned crossings, no deaths because of the unmanned crossings. Let me give you one example of very prestigious industry, Tata Steel. I have the license to quote some of the examples from the MD Tata Steel. So they said for the benefit of others, you can quote. So see, we have one East plant crossing where a lot of tracks are there. People have to cross that to other side to reach many departments. So because of the volume increase, the rakes carrying the raw material, they stop there for a lot of time. People have to reach in time. Some people violate the rules, and a lot of incidents used to happen. After 100 years of operating, this is the residual risk. After 100 years of operation, they have put the foot over bridge. Now it is solved. If you go to Tata Steel, you will see all the rails. They have barricades so that nobody can get injured or die by crossing the tracks. At many places, there are many places tracks move. Indian Railways operate around 75,000 kilometers of the track length. Many people, many animals die. Indian Railways says we can't address this hazard. Same in any country. But Tata Steel, in their own plant, they have addressed it by putting the barricades. It's a novel idea. So, but after how many years? after 100, 110 years. So residual risk fixing is very difficult, but you can fix. Let me come to my topic of the day, safety management. I said because of your technologies, because of your equipment requirements, there are four things are there in that system. These four things, if you don't, all these four things will give you a lot of energy. If you don't hold this energy within the boundary, then the hazards will come out. The hazard which is supposed to be dormant, it will come out, and it will result into injury, harm, or injury to the people. If that hazard comes out, it will create harm or harm to people, harm to property, harm to environment. Whole efforts is understand this hazard thoroughly, how it will come out, which is called initiating mechanism. Understand it and put the risk control systems so that this hazard will always remain dormant. Risk control systems. I'm not talking about the interventions. These are the systems. Your permit to work is a risk control system. Your positive isolation, positive energy isolation is a system. Inspection, maintenance, and testing, ITPM is a system. The staff compliances requirements is a system. Like that, the HSE has developed eight risk control systems, but IIT Kharagpur, with the experience of people like me and the people like Professor Maithu, who is doing research for the last 15 years, they have come out with one more energy isolation, one more risk control system called positive energy isolation. If you put this, lot of things would be addressed. People normally sleep. Yes, we have put the risk control systems. I'm very happy. Nothing, no hazard will come out. No, it doesn't happen unless you understand what is the weakness of each system, what is the effectiveness of that system. You don't understand whether it is working perfectly or not. So the weakness of the system is called lagging indicator. The effectiveness of the system is called the leading indicator. You have to understand this. The whole safety management of safety is understand the process of the equipment, understand the hazards, calculate the risk, put the risk control systems, and monitor weakness and effectiveness of the system. This whole thing combiningly is called the safety management. You have to do all these things. Many things are required for doing it. I told in very simple terms. Let me tell you, the important thing of my whole lecture will be hazard. Safety management is nothing but understanding the hazard, managing the hazard so that it will not harm. If you can do it, you are very good. So you should understand hazard in little more detail. Hazard has got three components. One is the hazardous element. Energy to start from its source, go to destination, it will go through many components. All those components are the hazardous components. All those components we should see that nothing will initiate and it will come out. Whether that component is a pipe, whether its component is a wire, whether its component is a switch, whether its component is a valve, whether it's whatever it may be. You should understand all those things for a particular energy which you are doing. And you should understand the initiating mechanisms, which are the things which will initiate so that this hazard which is there in the energy will become active. You should understand that you should hold it so that it will not target our human or property, creating injuries or damages to the properties. One simple example, see, hazardous element is a high pressure tank. Initiating mechanism is the tank rupture, incident is explosion, and the target is the people or property, and explosion, death, injury. So this is the definition of the hazardous components. Let me give you one more very, very important model of the work system total safety model, which you should understand. Any system, the life system consists of right from the concept to decommission. If you are putting up an industry, you are conceptualized first, then you should design on the drawing boards, then you have to build, then you have to put into operation and maintain, then finally you should commission. The whole from here to here is called the life cycle of the system. Always the safety hazard which you should do as far as possible on the upstream side. If you analyze here, all the hazards of the plant which is coming, or the equipments which are coming, and you understand those hazards and put the risk control systems using safety engineering and get the lagging weakness and effectiveness parameters and apply to those weakness and effective parameters, you apply safety analytics. Then you will get the specific intervention, take back into the system. This is the work system model. Always, as far as possible, you should do on the upstream. If you do at build stage, or if you do at operation stage, because design people have not done, it goes to build. If building people are not done, it goes to operation. If it goes to downstream, then cost of implementation will be very high. If you do at the upstream, cost of implementation will be very less, ease of implementation will be very high. So always we should do at the upstream. This is called prevention through design model, also the total work system design model. So our whole effort of this safety management system is also to address at the design stage, so that from prenatal to death, the things are at very, very safe stage. So I told you effectiveness indicators are the leading indicators. Examples: compliance to inspection schedules, compliance to PM schedules, and the system weakness indicators are like, normally we don't bother. We want to bother for failure indicators. No, that's why the data is not available. How many failures happen? Failures are not even revealed because people will be questioned. So the capturing data is very, very difficult. If you have weakness, people will tell. So you may say flat tire of the vehicles. The vehicles slipping on the road, one of the reasons is the flat tires. If you measure the tires grooves and monitor, many of the skiddings could be stopped. Similarly, joining of the bolt holes, if they become loose, tighten, people feel, I tightened, don't worry. But why it is becoming loose? The vibration is because of something else. If you log the data, this weakness data of joining, loosening of the bolts, it will result into many more final findings. Perception of the leaders is fatalities. We have conducted a workshop with 100 young leaders of a very good company. We asked, what do you understand by safety performance indicators? They say lost time accident, fatalities, medical treatment cases, like that, like all these things. It is the case with most of the companies. This is what they feel safety performance indicators. No, they are not the safety performance indicators. You are using those parameters to look the final result. The performance indicators, if you are looking for 1,000 vehicles coming out every day, your target, many things you have to see. You have to control those things, then finally these 1,000 vehicles will come. The safety performance indicators is the effectiveness of the risk control systems. The risk control systems, you should find out the weakness and effectiveness of the risk control systems. Then I'll give you one example. how many risk control weaknesses will be there? If you say fail, if you are looking for the failure, you will get one in say 1 month. If you see the weakness, you'll get many weakness parameters. So weakness you have to capture, weakness parameters and effectiveness parameters. The data of that weakness and effectiveness parameters is the big data, which is used for, I'll show you a small example you'll come to know. The big data which we are talking for analytics should have high volume, it should come high velocity, very fast it should come, which has happened today, 1 month after it comes, it's not data. Large variety, all the things, you should not be selective what you see. High accuracy, it's not that somebody's memory is talking something that is not the data. All these things combining you call the big data. So we have two indicators. One is the effectiveness indicators, other is the leading indicators. By taking all these two indicators, if you put in every initiating mechanism, the risk control system, you get these two indicators, weakness indicator and system effectiveness indicator. You combine these two and use analytics. That is the model which we use. Like these are 6 million ton steel plant. Many people may not be knowing steel plant, but people know. This is the actual steel plant drawing created by our scholars. We have seen one of the dust control system. There is a lot of dust control systems. For one dust control systems, we have found out what are the weakness and effectiveness parameters. There are 17 dust cleaning plants. There are 45 leading indicators. These are the indicators. For every indicator, you have to find out the data. So percentage of people not trained on operating practices, or percentage of people on gas safety training course. I know one of the incident happened because they don't know how to wear the breathing apparatus, though it is available. Percent of the jobs which are where positive energy isolations are implemented. So there are 45. This 45 data, if you collect at every place, huge data will come. Then lagging indicator. There are 58 lagging indicators. Thickness of the pipe with 20% wear. Thickness of the pipe with 10% wear. If you know, you should not know when it fails, what is the thickness you measure. No. Before that, you have to keep on measuring the thickness. So number of people trained on breathing apparatus. All these things are the small failures, not big failure. Weakness is a small failure. You go to doctor and you find out your health checkup. If there's a problem, you take it. Instead of taking your heart after getting stroke, if you go, it's a failure indicator. So there are 58 lagging indicators for one system, 17 dust cleaning system, 48 and 58. We have around 1800 data points. Each data point, if you collect the data, that is the big data. How do you collect the data? If you say people to go and collect it, will it happen? It's not happen. There is visual capturing. There is audio capturing. There is capturing through data electronic sensors, IoTs, Internet of Things. Then, of course, your feedbacks, audits, observations, they also give data. This whole data becomes the part of big data. Where is the data available? Not look at the safety side, safety sides. It is available in your ERP sites. In operations, you'll get data. Maintenance, you'll get data. Supply chain, human resources, safety management system. All these places, the data is available. The weakness and effectiveness data is available from all these sources. When they all combine, and if you put analytics, you'll get the predictions, what you are looking for. Let me come to my analytics-based integrated safety management system. This is 20 element management and 12-step implementation. Many companies we got it implemented. Some companies are implementing. Some companies have implemented only safety management system. Some people are in the process of implementing generating data. Some people are in the process of understanding the analytics and implementing. So This analytics based ABI SMS has got three types of components. One is cultural components, which you call behavioral safety and all these things. Other is operational components. Third is analytics. Operational components also takes care of the process safety. These are the 20 element system. In this 20 element system, see, the most important thing is microhazard mapping and management. It is our first element. So every hazard, each of the area of the operation, you have to divide into various people, and people should understand the hazard, and they divide it into three components, which I said, and they have to see whether it is. You have to find out the lagging and leading indicators. You should generate throughout the plant. We keep a software also for this. So the whole area you have to divide using hazardous components, hazardous element, initiating mechanism, target. This is where huge data will be generated. Of course, weakness and effectiveness parameters you have to generate from other elements also. But first, when you do this, all the people will be trained. All the people will understand what is the hazard, what is the micro hazard, how to map it. So that will help all others to all other elements also to how to do it. The things which are shown in the red, they are the analytics elements, safety performance indicators. So the weakness and effectiveness performance indicators is the safety performance indicators. And if you do the safety analytics using some machine learning techniques, a lot of machine learning tools are used to get the prediction and prescription. And finally, we have alignment to Industry 4.0, which is the order of the day. You have to align. The whole industries are going to be aligned to Industry 4.0. If safety should also get aligned, so you'll get a lot of data from aligning to Industry 4.0. So video analytics in last lecture, Mom has talked about video analytics is part of Industry 4.0. All Industry 4.0, it is the cyber physical systems is integrated in your systems. Okay. So microhazard mapping and management is one element which is very, very important for this. This is safety connect and reconnect. So the support to safety organization, the whole safety organization should divide. You should support. You should not pull. It should not be. You see, our safety management system is used for safe policy making and implementation. Both. You should take care of the both. And the positive energy isolation, I tell you, if you implement in the industries positive energy isolation, around 70% of your serious accidents could be stopped. That is the study we made in Tata Steel and we got it. And other standards, you have to implement all the positive energy isolation. I'll tell you a very classical example. In one of the industry in South Korea, steel industry, they had a major incident. From DuPont, I went there to help. They said, yeah, we have implemented positive energy isolation. As I show it, they have shown the logs, many logs. So lock is not the positive energy, not only the positive energy isolation. It's a system, right from the energy source identification to lock management is the system. So positive incident investigation. Incident investigation, many people do. A positive incident investigation means it should positively help to reduce that incidents in next time. Hazard for all disciplines. This is one of the things which has come up from our COE. Hazard used for chemical industries. Basically, you select the parameters, use the guide words, you get the deviations. For every deviation, you see what is the RC risk control system you should pick. What is the condition of this? What is not available? That is what you will find out. We thought, why not we apply to everywhere? Why not we apply to maintenance? Why not we apply to construction? Why not apply to everywhere? The parameters may be different, the guide words may be different, but the policy procedure is same. Now we have also come out with cultural hazard. The cultural, if you if you have applied cultural safety in your organizations, what are the weakness and effective parameters for that? We'll find out using the same HAZOP principle. Contractor safety, uh, mechanical integrity. Mechanical integrity is you have to see all your equipment should work prenatal to death of the equipment. How do we do it? Training, development, line management responsibility, the safety performance indicators we have talked, management of change. When the change happens, how do you manage for the facilities, for the procedures, for the people? How do you manage the change? If you can't manage, it will result into a great havoc. Communication. See, communication, if you have to come, LG Polymers, when it happened, the communication had not reached to the people. The people are becoming fainted on the roads, but they don't know how it happens. The industry has not communicated to the society. You have to systematically communicate to the people. Emergency preparedness, post-incident management. So if you go to see, I take the examples of Tata Steel for one thing, because Tata Steel I have permission to use their course, but it's one of the plant which has grown to safety management into benchmark level. That's why I keep taking. So there, when any emergency use, then we should have we will do post management system. They will do. How effectively you have done it. Let us understand. Pre-starter safety reviews, very, very important. This is the creation of actually CCPS, Center for Chemical Process Safety. But we use for all the equipments, all the shutdowns. They said you can use the critical process safety equipments. But in our model, you can use the same. We have divided the system of pre-startup safety review as the last correction. Many incidents are avoided by using this. LG Polymers, had they used this pre-startup safety review before starting after the lockdown, probably that incident could have been happened. Many things could be avoided by doing this. Reward, recognition, consequence, motivations. Then safety analytics. You have to bring the safety analytics. The whole data of the weakness and effectiveness, not the failure data. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, please understand. Whole weakness and effectiveness data of all these elements. You should bring it and you should use analytics tools. There are many analytic tools. All the industries are using analytics for different purposes. The same analytics tool can also analyze the safety management systems. Or IIT Kharagpur can help online all these things. So we use descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics. Our whole effort of IIT Kharagpur is to disseminate this knowledge across the world. IIT Kharagpur is not for the business purpose. It is for improving the quality of the people. Then we have to integrate all these things into your business plan. It should part of your business. When you discuss your profit and loss, you should discuss this also at the same time, part of your business. And I told you, aligning with Industry 4.0 is nothing but CPS. So trying smart PPEs, IoT-based interventions, video-based analytics, or virtual reality, augmented reality. IIT Kharagpur, this center has got virtual reality and augmented reality for hazard identification, for hazard trainings. It's the most modern things. We have implementation 12 steps, how to implement the whole system so that you will not get confused. Many there is a 12-step implementation. Gentlemen, please let me tell you as the last two slides. People want to change. These are the people coming from tribal areas, 30, 40 kilometers, using their cycles, starting in the early morning, in the night, when the darkness is there, and reach to the plant, Jamshedpur, and they become like this. They change themselves to the requirements because they see value. They see value in using the right dresses, not using the loose clothing. You have to create with the safety management system. We have to create this value system. Ultimately, if you implement analytics based safety management system, it should ensure, are you able to see these two birds going home happily at the end of the day after working on the plant? The people after working in the plant, they should go back to their houses safely, the way the birds are going very happily. That is the final intention of safety in analytics based safety management system. Thank you very much for listening to me. Mom, this is to you.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful. I think many of us could live those slides, what you showed, sir, and great inspiration for the years ahead. So now we move on to the Q&A session. So I believe many have started posting, and so I request Sovik, Sinjana, and Ashish to please take the Q&A forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, Professor Krishna, this is a very nice presentation, and that is also understood from various clapping by the participant that we can see. So, participants are continuously clapping during your presentation.
I could see
And
my
from your-
eldest brother also in the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
So,
okay.
sir, we have
sorry.
several questions we have found from the chat box. So, some of the question I am taking, like, sir, one of the important question is how to measure or quantify safety commitment and values.
Results.
Yes, sir.
The results. Commitment and value, they are subjective words. Don't use those things. You measure these 20 elements that will finally result into what is your commitment, what is your value system. Let's not use abstract things. Let us use absolute things. People used to see commitment. There's a difference between commitment, promise, and all these things. By implementing these 20 elements, it shows the management commitment. By implementing these things, it shows the workers' commitment. How effectively you are implementing, that shows whether you are really creating value or not. The measuring of all these elements integratedly is the measurement of commitment and value. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your answer. Now, sir, another question is, he is saying that you have explained the analytics part very nicely, and you have also given the big list where we can collect the data. But how to convince the top management so that this sort of data can be collected, because this is also the resource consuming part. So that we have to take care.
If you see
Yes,
our
sir.
12-step management, 12-step process, first step is to present to the leadership team the value of the whole management system. The top management has to be taken into consideration. If they feel collection of the data is leakage of their data, nothing could be done. That's why in our 20 element safety management system implementation, first step is making presentation to the leadership team and won their commitment. When Tata Steel brought DuPont, DuPont has made the commitment to presentation to whole leadership team and won their commitment first. Then all the things will happen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to hand over the session to my mom, Mamitra. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Sovik. Uh, Okay, sir. One question is bubbling in me, so I'd like to ask the question. So, I mean, where does behavioral safety come in all this, sir? Because I'll just give you an example, sir. Like
Yeah.
there are conveyor belts in plants in steel industries, and people tend to remove the guards, right? Because the safety standard says that the guards cannot be removed. It can lead to consequence management and a lot of other violations. But if somebody removes deliberately, so we brought in something called smart guard. Smart guard is whenever you remove the guards, the circuit will trip. So that's an engineering intervention now we have started in doing in model conveyors. So I would like to ask sir that where does behavioral safety find its place in whatever you spoke today?
Mom, this behavior is a very, very complex subject. Why, if somebody puts you pranam, you feel his behavior is very good. It's not actually. The behavioral is a agglomeration of all these elements. Somewhere the management behavior, somewhere the worker behavior, somewhere the operating people behavior. The implementation of all these elements, safety management system, measuring all those things jointly will improve the behavior of the whole organization. It's not a very simple, it's very easy to say workers' behavior is not very bad. No, it is very, very false comment. The workers' behavior is the reflection of the leaders' behavior. Leaders' behavior is the non-implementation of the safety management system. So we also used to think behavior. Very it's colloquially used like aloo piyaz in the market. But behavior is agglomeration of understanding the safety management system and implementing all these things. The resultant index which you give is the behavior index. Thank you, Mom.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. We move ahead to the formal vote of thanks to this wonderful, energetic session. So I request Maiti sir to propose formal vote of thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, Professor Krishna, very well done, and it's hats off. It's a so wonderful lecture. Primarily, from your lecture, that what I was expecting that people should not misunderstood analytics by tools and techniques. You have rightly pointed out that where is the domain, where from the data, safety data will come, and then ultimately, unless the right kind of safety data is generated, whatever the tools and techniques like descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytic, machine learning, or your data mining, statistics, deep learning, whatever we use, all those things will not give the fruitful results. And that's why the starting point is safety management, then make it indicator driven, leading and lagging indicator, and then finally make it analytics based. After creation of database, having the right kind of data, then there will be a lot of tools and techniques and their usage. So we are really thankful to you, Professor Obi Krishna, and I hope that you made everybody's understanding so easy in terms of safety analytics, safety management, and as well as prevention through design combiningly. And from COE, you are the convener, and from IIT, you are the also professor, so you are also the host. But today, I must congratulate you. I must welcome you from the core of heart of me, COE, IIT, for such a wonderful lecture for the participants. I am saying that the participants are basically, I can say, the God for this kind of session. If participants are not there, this kind of session will have no value. And today also there are a large number of participants. They have attended this lecture, and it is the motivation to the organizers, particularly the safety science, safety engineering, safety management, safety analytics. These are not well developed like other counterparts like quality, reliability, productivity, and other performance measures. So COE is trying to bridge the gap, and we are basically bringing lot of issues from other domain and putting in the safety domain, and so that the ultimately the knowledge base will be created, and you participants, you all are participating with immense enthusiasm and motivation, and that is probably the yardstick of this particular weekend session, and we will become successful only through your active participation. Lot many questions you have asked, lot many suggestions also you have given, and we requested you to give suggestions for topics. What kind of topics you want to listen from COE, ACIIT Kharagpur in future. So we will definitely try to accommodate your suggestions. And in the first month, we try to give you primarily the basic part, the broad framework, the broad things, the broad concepts. We are extremely thankful to all of you for attending this, and we welcome you for the future session. And we are sure that you all will be there with us in all the subsequent weekend talks. Thank you so much. Mom, you have done so wonderfully with Ashish, Shobik, Sinjana, and the other research scholars who are in the back end. And I am extremely thankful to all of you. We are thankful to IIT Kharagpur, to Alumni Cell, to Information Cell, and other administration in IIT Kharagpur who basically are doing our work in the back end again. And because of this, we are able to circulate, we are able to publicize all those documents, and also pre and after. All the lectures are available in YouTube channel, particularly in the COE. If you write in YouTube COE in or Center of Excellence in Safety Engineering Analytics, IIT Kharagpur, you will find out that our channel is there. So you can see the again revisit or all those videos, and you may maybe answer some more questions what you have not got through in the lectures. So that's all from our side. And once again, I'm thankful to Professor Krishna, all the participants, and all the organizing members. Thank you. Hello, welcome for the next session and then in the next Friday there will be little more specific session, and it will be delivered by another eminent speaker from the in the world, and we will circulate it.